We're officially halfway through the year, so let's talk about every single book I've read and share them with you. Hello everyone, so like I said, 2019 is halfway over, and since we're halfway through the year, I thought I would do a check-in with letting you guys know what books I've read so far. So, I am filming this like late June, so there are going to be some more books I read before this video goes out, so this won't be like truly accurate as you're seeing it. Please forgive me. I did the best I could. Pre-filming is a thing that has to happen in my house because scheduling, editing, kid life, etc, etc. What I'm going to do is just show you the book, whether I own it or whether I've gotten rid of it or I lent it out, either way, and I'm going to share with you what I rated it. So I'm going to do it month by month. I'm not going to go into much detail about it. If you're interested in a particular book, there is a good chance I've either reviewed it in a single review, a mashup review, or it is in my wrap-up. So just check out my videos from this past year, or you can write the book name and then type Bookables, and you can probably find my thoughts about it in case you want to hear in detail. I would link all my reviews down below, but that info box would be very long. So, without further ado, because it's probably gonna be long enough already, let's get into all the books I've read so far in 2019. So far this year, I have read 44 books. I'm a little bit behind. I moved that last month. Things are going on in my life right now. Things are just busy. So I'm happy with it. I want to read more, obviously, but I'm happy with 44. I think I could read 100 by the end of the year. Here's to hoping. Start off in January, I read 8 books. The first book I read this year was Famous in a Small Town by Emma Mills, which I gave a 3 out of 5 to. Our Year of Maybe by Rachel Lynn Solomon, which I gave a 4 out of 5. Slayer by Kirsten White, which looking back on it now, I'd probably give it a 2 out of 5. I'm sorry. Tales of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nang, I gave a 4 out of 5. The Wicked King by Holly Black, which I gave a 5 out of 5. Carry On by Rainbow Roll, which I also gave a 5 out of 5. Four Dead Queens by Astrid Skolte, I gave a 3 out of 5. Lastly, in January, I read Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, which I gave a 3 out of 5. Moving into February, I read 11 books, so that's pretty good. The first one being Small Town Hearts by Lily Vale, which I gave a 2 out of 5. Fame, Fate, and the First Kiss by Casey West, which I gave a 3 out of 5. A Heart in the Body of the World by Deb Coletti, which I gave a 5 out of 5. Intercepted by Alexa Martin, which I gave a 3 out of 5. 99% Mine by Sally Thorne, which I also gave a 3 out of 5. Forever Interrupted by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which I gave a 5 out of 5. Heartland by Kimberly Stewart, I gave a 2 out of 5. OUM by Sophie Kinsella, which I gave a 3 out of 5. Evidence of the Affair by Taylor Jenkins Reid, I gave a 4 out of 5. Casey Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid as well. Big Taylor Jenkins Reid month. I gave a 5 out of 5 too. And lastly, The Book Thief by Margaret Suzak, which I gave a 3 out of 5. I'll be over here. Moving on to March, my adult fantasy month, I only read 5 books. The first one being Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, which I gave a 5 out of 5. Lent it to my dad. Next, The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, which I gave a 4 out of 5, which I also lent to my dad. Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, which I gave a 4 out of 5. Savior's Champion by Jenna Mauricio, which I gave a 4 out of 5. And lastly, Into the Drowning Deep by Myra Grant, which I also gave a 4 out of 5 too. Moving into April, I read 8 books. First one being Serious Moonlight by Jen Bennett, which I gave a 4 out of 5. To Be Mine by Erin Hahn, which I gave a 3 out of 5. The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston, which I also gave a 3 out of 5. Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey Miss Quinston, which I gave a 5 out of 5 too. Who's surprised? Good Luck Charm by Helena Hunting, which I gave a 3 out of 5. Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen, I gave a 2 out of 5. Unbound Phoenix, I forgot the author's name, I gave a 4 out of 5 too. Lastly, in April, I read Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan, which I gave a 4 out of 5 to. Moving on to May, I read 7 books. The first one is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, which I gave a... Next up is The Bride Test by Helen Huang, which I gave a 3 out of 5. Meet Cute by Helena Hunting, which I gave a 2 out of 5. There's Something About Sweetie by Sanan Menon, which I gave a 4 out of 5. Devouring Ray by Kristen Lynn Herman, I also gave a 4 out of 5. Warrior of the Wild by Trisha Levenseller, I gave a 3 out of 5. Lastly, in May, I read Aurora Rising by Jade Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, which I gave a 2 out of 5. Like I said, I'm filming this just so you know you're fully aware. I'm filming this on June 23rd, so there are a lot of books in June that I have not read yet that I will finish by the time you're seeing this. But so far in June, I have read 5 books, and they are Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey, which I gave a 3 out of 5. Friendzone by Abby Himayas, I gave a 4 out of 5. Waiting for Tom Hanks by Carrie Winfrey, which I gave a 3 out of 5. Hot Dog Girl by Jennifer Dugan, which I gave a 2 out of 5. Lastly, so far in June, I've read Goodbye Perfect by Sarah Bernard, which I gave a 4 out of 5. Those are all the 44 books I have read so far in 2019. This year, like I told you guys in my mid-year freakout tag, is kind of an iffy year for reading for me. Like, looking at these books, there's not a ton that I love. There's a fair few of them that I truly love, but overall, it's been kind of a so-so year for me. I don't know if that's because of what I'm picking up, or I'm just, I don't know, it's a weird mood for me. I'm not sure. Not every reading year has to be perfect. There's going to be ebbs and flows of it, like anything in life, honestly. So either way, I'm hoping that the second half of the year really picks up and I find books that I love and I expand my reading taste more. As you can tell, I've only read one thriller this year. I'm remedying that right now. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing that, hearing what books I've read and what I rated them and things like that. I would love to hear how many books you've read so far this year. Are you on track? Are you not on track? Sorry for the lighting, but I would love to hear. Please leave them down in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.